great second half by our guys. They battled back and they were in that game again. And, just the hole we dug in the first half was a little too deep. And, those guys hit some pretty tough shots, like the step back three that ended up being a 4-point play. I thought that was a big play that, would have been, maybe a 14-point lead. And then your comeback puts it about even. So, but these guys never disappoint me as far as the heart of a lion, and they just always battle right up to the very, very end, and that was no different today. So always proud of these guys, and it was a great year to have with this whole team, and they maximized everything they could and accomplished a heck of a lot. So like I said, I'm really proud of them.
Schaefer Murray, Washington Sports Network. Coach, just talk about, I know it's not the result you wanted, but talk about the resiliency of your guys and just the fans who showed up and all the support you guys had here today.
Yeah, it was a special atmosphere, and when we started coming back, it was helping us. And these guys never cease to amaze me how tough they are. And we haven't gone in the locker room like that when we were down. And, we went the whole year, every single game was close. We never got blown out, and we were in jeopardy of getting blown out by a really, really talented team. Our hats are off to Memphis, and, man, that's a team that's putting it together. I know they had a rough stretch, and I know they started out, I think, top 10 in the nation, and you see why. But they worked through some stuff throughout the year, and they've turned it on right now, and they've got it going. So, they kind of came out and got us on our heels a little bit with their defense, their presses, and second half we did a much better job of, being the aggressor. And but like you said, these guys are, they weren't about to go away getting blown out. They fought and fought and fought, and got away a little bit at the end when a couple things happened. But really proud of them.
Terry Davis, Tri-State defender. Coach, Abu put your team on the back on the second half. Talk about his play, not only this game, but throughout this year.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, one of the things, he was MVP of our tournament. Could have made a case for him being MVP of our league. No disrespect to the other guys in that league, because we have great players. But he's such a team guy that all he cares about is winning, and that showed tonight. And it showed all throughout the year. I mean, we have a whole group of guys like that. That's all they cared about. But he was tremendous down the stretch of the season, and just a warrior, as I've said 100 times, if not 1,000. But I don't even want to start thinking about it, because that's the last game he gets to play in a Bronco uni, and he's left a legacy here that'll never ever be forgotten.
BJ Rains with Bronco Nation News. Guys, you were tied 12-12, then they obviously went on that run there to dig the hole. What was going wrong there? And then in the second half to flip it, what did you guys do to be able to cut it all the way to 5?
It's a game of runs. It's a game of runs. They're a really good team, and they went on a run, and we couldn't weather the storm like how we usually do. But it's a part of the game. Sometimes stuff like that happens, and it's just how you respond. And I thought our guys did a great job of responding in the second half.
J-Test KTVB, Abu, for you, last game obviously is a Bronco, and I know that you're still trying to probably process that, but do you feel like you left it all out there on the floor in the second half, and how hard is it just to see it come to an end?
It's definitely tough seeing it come to an end, but our guys battled. That's all you can ask for, and thought everyone did a tremendous job of competing. And sometimes it's like that. It's basketball, and sometimes things don't go your way, so you just got to take that negative and turn it into a positive however you can, and that's our mentality.
Justin Reed, Spokesman Review. Coach, 3 Spokane guys on the roster, obviously, your son, Tyson, and Najee there. Can you just kind of talk to me about those 3, what the 2 have meant, and then also what Tyson's going to be able to do for you moving forward?
Yeah, they're just like, the common theme about all these guys is what great competitors they are, and they all are that. So they all fought. I thought some of those guys you mentioned were huge in that second half. Najee was great, and Max was great as far as heating them up, and our defensive intensity increased. And same with Tyson, and he's been freshman of the year. And it wasn't even close. I mean, it could have been an all-league player really when you break it down. I mean, he had that kind of year, but. Those guys have been terrific, and just like all our other guys, that's the neat thing about this team is everybody's contributed along the way in huge ways, not just in little ways, in huge ways, and those three are no different. But the tough thing, like I told our guys, the hard thing about this is I've been fortunate to be in, I think, 14 of these now tournaments. They never ever end the way you want. They end the way you want for one team. I mean, it's like, there's great teams everywhere, and there's, but they never, so it's hard. And especially when you have a close group like this that wants to keep playing, wants to keep being around each other. And so when that final horn goes off, it's a heartbreak.
Any questions from the Zoom room? If you have one, raise your hand. Check there real quick. Keep an eye on that.
Rachel Roberts with the Idaho Statesman. This team has had a lot of historic accomplishments this season, but maybe a couple of decades from now, what do you think people will remember most about them?
No doubt, they'll absolutely. Like I said, this team will go down in history for all the accomplishments they had. The way they turned the season around. We were 3-4, and they flipped this season, and then they went on a remarkable winning streak. Which is shows you how hard it is. It was one of the longest in the country, and it was like us and Auburn were the final two with the long winning streak, and then they were number one at the time. And then to win the league outright in the best year of the league that the Mountain West has been from top to bottom, no doubt, to win it outright is remarkable. And then to be able to flip it around and just compete all the way through the conference tournament and win the conference tournament, and and then come here. Don't underestimate that team. I don't think anybody that watched that game could. Those guys are great players, and they're so well coached. Coach Hardaway does an amazing job, and he's got a great staff. And I mean, they're doing good stuff, and they're going to be a hard out for either Gonzaga or Georgia State. I mean, they're really good, and we knew that. I mean but. Like I said, the great thing about these guys is they went out the way they played all year. They just went down swinging. They didn't roll over for anybody, and they'll be remembered a long time. And the things they did helped this program to keep building.
I have two questions, one for Tyson and one for Coach. Tyson, I know you didn't get the result you wanted. Oh, sorry, Terry Davis, tri-state defender. You wanted, but describe your battle down low with the Memphis Bigs. And Coach, this is the second year in a row y'all played them. Won't you try to get them on the regular season because y'all played two exciting games?
Yeah.
Their bigs are definitely physical down there, and Duran's definitely going to be a lottery pick, and it's fun to compete, but just wish we would have gotten the job done.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. Let's get Coach Hardaway up to Boise. I bet he'd really like that. Why don't you start that campaign? I'll book it right now.
All right, we have time for one more question.
Jordan Kay with the Idaho Press for Tyson and Abu. This season's kind of been, you guys started 3-4 and just went on one of the best runs in school history. As you look back on it, what are you guys most proud of the team?
I'm proud of our guys, their will and their determination, their relentless attitude to just keep going in front of all the adversity that we went through. A lot of teams could fold early. If you have a really talented team and you go 3-4, that can mentally, stop some teams. But I'm so proud of our guys for just continuing to fight every single day. And our mentality was to win the day, and those guys did every single day. So I gotta give a big shout out to my teammates.
I'm proud of our guys for staying together after going 3-4. We could have folded, but we really came together and made it a great season. So proud of our guys.